All right, sit rep. It's 8 o'clock. The Amiga is pretty much done as far as cosmetics go. I'm not totally happy with the job I did here on the casing, but I am going to take the casing off because if anything blows up, I would like to see what exactly it is. All the RAM has been reinstalled, the board has been cleaned. I mean, it's pretty much free of corrosion, except for if you look at this little spot right here where the Varta battery was. That's the only issue. And I heard these things will not power on if the quartz battery is dead. I've read up a lot on this thing. I have tested the power supply. I spared you watching that because it was nothing exciting, but it did click on. The fan did not run, but curiously enough, when I shut it off or remove the power, it would obviously spin a little bit. So I don't know if it's something because it didn't have a load on it or what, but I did want to make sure the power supply wasn't going to blow up the machine. But I've checked every single capacitor. I don't see a single one bulging or doing anything weird, so I'm going to take the chance on just for the first time. This thing probably has sat idle in storage for over 20 years, and I want to make that clear. The matching monitor I did test today, and surprisingly it worked. I cleaned it all up. I checked all the capacitors or caps, as sometimes we just call them for short, and everything looked good. Fired it up. The only issue with that is the power switch, and the video was a little bit wonky, but I think it was just the source. So here we go. We're gonna just go ahead and put this in here and pray to God nothing blows up in my face here. So it's there, it's in, and let's see what happens. Okay, nothing blew up. I do have status indicators. I'm sorry this video isn't going to be that interesting because I really don't have a way to hook it to a monitor to see if it actually is working. I do hear the fan running, so that's good. I don't hear any action from the hard drive right now or anything, I mean, other than just turning it on and getting the two little lights. So it could be an issue with the hard drive, considering I don't even feel the thing spinning. Oh, it's trying to. Or that could be this fan too. I do feel that running. Nothing from this drive, so this possibly could be dead, which is obviously replaceable. It's not a hard, you know, it's not a hard drive to find. But oh, there it goes. So yeah, can you hear that clicking? Yeah, it's probably dead. I suspected one thing or another would go bad in this, but it appears it's trying to do something. I'm not sure why I didn't try to post in the floppy drive when I first powered it on, but I didn't have the camera over there. I wasn't really looking when I first powered it up, but I'm gonna let this run for a minute and just see if everything's good. But the fact it's powered up is actually amazing. And if you think about it, this thing has not been turned on for at least 20 years that I know of. The latest it was probably retired was in probably 2001, but I doubt that it even made it that long as far as service goes. This was in service at a area television station for years and was being used to create graphics and everything. So this really is an iconic machine that's served its day and really needs its proper respect as far as these old computers go. But I've done my best to restore. It's kind of hard to see because of the time of night I'm filming this, but I have restored all the connectors and cleaned all those. I thoroughly cleaned the board, retrobrighted the front, and also repainted the top, which as I said before, I'm not overly happy with the way that turned out. But right now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and power it back off again, and I'm going to let it sit for a minute because if I remember right, in these old machines, you don't want to power them off and then turn them right back on again. I don't know if it's a shock to the system or whatever, so let's hope it just powers back on again. And it could be a couple issues. I'm hoping the quartz battery is still good and I just need to order that Varta battery, but I don't know if it's needed for it to function at this point. I don't have a lot of information from what I've been able to look at, but let's just see if it... See, I'm seeing nothing from the CD-ROM. It could either be dead or it's... But I do hear the hard drive and it's trying to go. I don't know if it'll make it there or not, but sometimes these old hard drives, I used to have one that went bad, and sometimes you throw them in the freezer for a little while and all of a sudden they come back. Probably not a good idea, but I have had to do that on drives that have failed to retrieve data from them. And they'll work for about 10-20 minutes and then start doing the same thing all over again. But I'm going to assume this is shot, because I mean, it's trying, but I'm sure I could tap it a little bit, maybe loosen up the motors in there. Could be something with that, but I've not had much success trying to fool with these. Other than that, the only thing I'm not sure of is why I don't know if the disk needs to be in here, or if this is some kind of different type of drive than I'm used to, but hey, the fact that it's working and we got power, hey, why not? So we'll see. I'll keep you posted, and that's the project update as of right now. Okay, we're just going to do a quick follow-up. I checked a few cables and different things connected. I don't know if it's anything I did, or maybe it's a cable that's touching something. I'm not really sure, but when I power it on, I'm not going to leave it on for too long, but that's what we're getting now. So if anybody has any comments what the hell that means, I'm assuming maybe the power supply has gone bad. Maybe it was just enough to power it on those 1 or 2 times, or something else inside went. I didn't smell any smoke or anything, but I'm not going to fool with it too much longer until I get a little more input on what possibly could be causing the issue. And I'm pretty sure it's not anything overly serious. Maybe it is something with the quartz battery. Maybe there was just something left. I'm not really sure at this point. Appreciate your opinions or your suggestions, and let's see if we can get this old girl working and get her back in. I do have all the toaster cards, which I have not put back in yet, for obvious reasons. If something was wrong with this, I didn't want to ruin those cards, and I wanted to make sure it worked fine on itself, by itself, I should say, without all the expansion cards in there. And plus I get a better view of the board without these. I mean, these cards are huge cards that go straight across. So that's where we're at, and that's it for now. Again, comments below, let me know if you have any opinions what could be causing the issue with the